people are afraid to be working in this environment, and I don't blame them. So we just try to be patient with each other and carry on, because we need to carry on. We're charged with taking care of the in the death care business. We're charged with taking care of folks' loved ones, whether you're a healthcare worker or a funeral director, and it's very important that we try to carry on their wishes and their desires to the extent of our abilities.
Well, I see your business had to be affected as well, because now you have a crowd of 10 people or less. And
Right.
you're in a business, you know this better than anyone. You're in a business where people are vulnerable, where people are grieving, where they are mourning for the loss of a loved one. They're trying to get together with family. They need to hug. They need that human interaction. And that really essentially has just been cut off. So what changes have you seen?
Correct. The advent of the gatherings limited to 10, a total of 10. The impact on that's I think, is going to be long range up the road. There's a lack of closure. So we've held services at the cemeteries, and I can just see the folks. There's 10 of them, small families or large families, but they're limited to 10. They don't have that closure that you see in a normal course of events, where you have whether it's a traditional type of funeral where someone goes through the whole 9 yards and it has a wake in a religious service, and then the service at the cemetery, and then they have a very normal, customary post-funeral gathering. That whole coming together helps folks move on. It truly does help them move on. That's off the table. So I feel very bad for the survivors who don't have that ability now. And my advice is for them to think about it long term. So once we get past this crisis that we're facing, folks are talking about having memorial services, maybe coming back into the funeral home and having a memorial wake, and kind of going through that whole process as well. And then you have those other religious faith. The churches are locked down as well. There's no gatherings in the churches at all, let alone for a funeral. So here in Arlington, most folks are familiar with the Catholic churches and the Protestant churches. They're all locked down, and the Catholic Church has a mandate that they're taking this so seriously, they won't even allow the clergy to come into the funeral home to conduct what we call a funeral home service, even with that small party of 10.
Now, and you don't have to answer this question, but have you had a funeral for anyone who passed on of the coronavirus? Because you have to watch out for your safety.
We have had, unfortunately, I know of, we're told, the healthcare provider or the hospital, they tell us, and just this morning we had 2. The past week I think of 5. 2 were notified that they had the testing, and it was on their death record. The other 3 were being tested. There's been a few that I just assume from my personal knowledge, the type of death and where they died, they most likely had it. Just as you have to assume that everyone we deal with has some type of contagion. That's why we've always practiced universal precautions. The first thing they teach you in mortuary school is universal precautions. Every client or every decedent that we deal with, you have to assume worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So we've always practiced that. The personal protection equipment. Every body that we deal with, whether it comes from a nursing home or a hospital or a hospice or a home death, we are assuming that there's been some type of COVID situation.
Well, it's a very sensitive time. We certainly appreciate you being a member of the community, a very valuable member of the community. We wish you the best. Please stay safe, and we'll be in touch maybe later on in the year during better times.
Yeah, hopefully better times. But the numbers I'm seeing aren't the numbers that's being published. The numbers I'm seeing are pretty scary.
Yeah, it's a frightening time, and I'm sure, like the rest of us, you're learning as you go along, just like we are. So I wish you the best, and we'll be in touch. John, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your time and your efforts for Arlington.